Need to back up a little that way.
Move
away from me.
Okay.
Yeah. There we go.
I'm gonna recross so it looks more inviting. Like I'm talking to you.
Okay.
Watch the
Look
cords.
how much bigger I look than you.
I know, that's why I feel like I should lean forward. Okay, anywho. Hello everyone and welcome back to Middle Ground. I'm Caroline.
And I'm Joe.
I'm the brunette half of the podcast.
I'm the blonde half.
And
have we ever introduced her? Probably.
Yeah, I think we have. And Joe and I did the little like TikTok thing where we saw ourselves as different hair colors. And Joe...
it was humbling.
Joe's the perfect hair color for her.
Or it just doesn't get better. It's not that it's perfect. It's just this is the best I can do.
Yeah. Hate to say it,
but... It was really bad. Like, everything was really bad. The brunette wasn't, like... It wasn't good. But after we saw, like, the redhead and the, like, platinum, the brunette was looking pretty good.
Yeah, I think the brunette was the best, but the brunette made you dull. Like a dull human.
Yeah.
Which doesn't happen to a lot of brunettes.
Somebody suggested that I might be an autumn the other day. You know, Color Theory, where they do the...
Oh, really?
Yeah. You know Sarah Steele that we had on the podcast?
Yes.
Corporate Mama?
Yeah, she did that.
And her and I were talking on the phone the other day about... There's a girl in Tulsa that does it. And you should come if we do this. But we were talking about doing an event at, like, Sarah's house where we all go and the person's there. And we, like, all pay a little bit so that we can all have ours done. Yes.
1,000%. They're going to say... The only thing I'm worried about is they're going to be like, you don't look good in black. And I'm going to be like... Like, everything I wear is black, and so I'm going to be heartbroken.
I don't... Like, if you feel good in black, you look good in black.
I'm not going to, like, not
that.
do it. I know, but, you know, like, I just have a gut feeling that they're going to be like, stay away from dark tones. And I'm like, oh, sad.
I don't feel like they're going to tell you that.
You never know.
Realistically. And won't it be exciting to know that, what you shine in?
Oh, yeah. I feel like I shine in blue because I always get complimented when I'm wearing blue. Always. And I'm like,
Blue.
Like, I have this really cute blue set I wear, like, boxing, and everyone compliments me. And I'm like...
When somebody told me that they thought I was an autumn, my brain exploded, but it also makes sense because I feel like I get complimented a lot when I wear yellow.
Really?
Right shade of yellow. Like, not any yellow, but yeah.
I feel like... Maybe that's true because I feel like you are a yellow. Like, I assign people with colors.
Okay, so you know the trend that's far past now, but that was like da-da-da-da-da, 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 yellow.
Yeah, I saw it.
That was really descriptive. I know. Matt, I asked him to do that, and he was like, orange. And I was like, interesting. Yeah. Everybody says yellow. He's like, I know you better than other people. And he was like, you're not yellow. He was like, you're not yellow. And that's been really messing with my identity.
I definitely think you're yellow.
I think I'm green, so.
Didn't he say golden retriever also? Retriever. Didn't he say that?
He said golden retriever.
I see golden retriever too.
Yeah, I got that. That made sense to me.
But it's not like, I feel like that's a negative thing because people always comment on like boyfriends' videos. Like, if I had my boyfriend in it, they'd be like, oh, he has golden retriever energy. And I feel like that's negative sometimes, but yours isn't negative.
I don't think of it as negative. People love golden retrievers.
Yeah. And they're social. Like, that's how I see it. But I think also people see it as like they're dumb dogs. But I don't think they're dumb.
I don't think they're dumb.
I mean, they're like dirt, but they're not like stupid.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, I think they're trainable.
Yeah, I agree.
Anyways.
What's your crowning moment?
I was going to ask you.
You want me to?
I'll go first because I never do. I have been going and doing stuff alone recently because I read my human design. And, also hi to the YouTube. We never said hi.
Yeah. So, Middle Ground listeners, we know this is episode like 125 or something like that. But after years of talking about it, there is still no intro, but there is a YouTube video. So if you're listening via audio in your car or cleaning or through your AirPods or through any variety of headphone, know that you can hop over to YouTube and see our faces too.
Yeah. Cha-ching.
And that's kind of fun.
Yeah. I was saying my grounding moment and then I started to get stage fright and then I was like, wait, we didn't introduce us on the YouTube. So hi, everyone.
Hi, YouTube. Subscribe somewhere. Watch it,
share it with your friends.
Yeah. All of our people who are just listening, maybe just go play the YouTube video for support.
Yeah. All night long. As you sleep on loop.
Yeah, exactly.
Does that even like count as
Probably
one?
not. I have no idea.
I wonder if people do that. Anyways.
Send it to your 15 closest friends if you want good luck for the rest of the year.
Yeah, rest of your life.
The best Christmas gift will come your way if you send this to 15 of your closest friends.
The actual Santa Claus will come, even though the actual Santa Claus is a thing. Children listening. Anywho, my grinding moment is
you're doing stuff by yourself.
I'm doing stuff more by myself. So I'm like going to coffee shop. So I read my human design. So if you don't know what that is, it's like a, I don't even know how to describe it, but it's like another
personality.
Test. Yeah.
It's not really, but personality test.
Yeah. And you like put in your date and time you're born, your things. And so I'm a manifestor generator. And so I was reading and it said that I do actually better working outside, like with people around me. I'm like, interesting. Like not like conversing, but like with people hustling and bustling around me. So I've been doing that. I've been like working at a coffee shop and like doing those things. Really enjoyed it. But my grinding moment is this morning. I was going to do that. I was going to go alone, do all, work before we edited or recorded.
La la la.
La la
I think
la.
that's the proper, but
Yada yada yada.
Gardner said yada 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 at that wedding, and I can't get it out of my brain. Sorry.
Yada yada yada. And so I called my grandma. I was like, Grandma, do you want to come with me? And she was like, yes, I would love nothing more. So I picked her up, which she lives next door if you guys didn't know. So I turned into her driveway, and we had like a nice little grandma-daughter coffee date, and we just sat there. She talked about, I love like when she remembers stories, because I feel like every time I hang out with her she tells me something new, and I love that. And I'm like, oh my gosh, tell me more. So she was telling me about like my grandfather's side of the family, which is the Hawaiian side, and like all the stories. And yeah, and then I came here. So that's my grinding moment.
That's
spending
nice.
time with grandma.
I love that.
Yeah, it was good. Good time. Good
I like
morning.
your grandma. She's a good one. She's fun to be around.
What's yours?
We went to a wedding on Saturday. And as everyone knows, because every time I go to a wedding in the last year, it's been my grounding moment. I have not gotten to be a wedding guest very many times in my life.
Yeah.
And it was just really lovely getting to be a guest and celebrate friends who I've known most of my life. And, well, I've known the groom most of my life. And his new wife is just like the best. He could not have picked a better partner. And so it was just a fun wedding, and they had it at their house.
That's so fun. Aw.
And so seeing what they did to the property and how they prepared everything and what incredible hosts they were to all of the guests. And there were probably 20 or 30 of us who the wedding wrapped up around 10, and we all went back and just went in their house and hung out with everybody.
That's so fun.
Like ate the leftover food and ate cake and talked and drank, and it was just a really, really nice time. And I feel like those are those moments that you get really excited about, and like are those kind of lead up events.
Yeah.
And I feel like so often you put so much pressure on them, or at least I have been guilty of in my life of putting a lot of pressure on them and then being disappointed that they aren't. And so the last few years I've been really trying to work on not putting pressure on stuff like that. And I feel like I'm getting better. And it was a good example this weekend of when you don't put pressure on it and just show up to enjoy
the present
with your people, how impactful that can be.
Yeah, I think that's a great lesson. And like, again, I think everyone can work on that and better in some way.
Yeah, but it was a lot of fun.
That's so fun.
I did not get very much sleep. And this morning when I woke up, I thought I was going to have to text you to say I couldn't record the podcast because I didn't have a voice. Like,
oh, really?
I could hardly talk. I didn't have much of one yesterday. And then this morning I didn't have anything. And Matt and I still have to record podcasts today. And Matt was like, you're going to record 2 podcasts today and you sound like that?
And you're like, yeah, because I'm a bad bitch.
Yeah.
Well,
but I think I'm
you.
okay now.
Yeah, I think you're good.
I took a big old detox shot.
Yeah, she did. It was like a gingery.
Cayenne, ginger.
All the good
honey,
stuff.
lemon, something. It
That's
definitely
awesome.
made my face turn anyway.
Anyhow, I was going to say this quick thing. You said you were there for the groom, and everyone asked like what my best piece of advice for weddings are, and I have like a bunch, but like also none because I've seen it all. But I think that this is so random, but I think that you should sit like as a guest, if you're for the groom, you should sit on the opposite side so you can see his face instead of on his side.
I stand by that.
Yeah. And vice versa. Like,
I also don't think they had. Ooh, maybe they did. I don't know that they really had people split up that way because, okay, the setup was so cool. So they have a tennis court at their house. Like their home was built a long time ago, probably the 70s, maybe early 80s. It has like an old tennis court. It's on a couple acres, backs up to a creek, and it has like vines growing up over the.
Oh, pretty.
It sounds really like
spooky.
No, I was gonna say fancy, saying they have a tennis court.
Yeah,
but it's. I mean, it's so nice, but it's not like a grandeur.
It's like
kind
casual.
It's like a casual tennis.
Yeah.
I don't know if that.
Just casually.
Yeah, just a casual tennis.
Do you know how to play tennis?
Yes.
I don't.
I'm not good, but my best friend from high school, Bren, was on the tennis team and played competitive tennis our whole life. And so I do know how the game works. And I can play if you're willing to like
be patient.
Yes. I enjoy it too. But anyway,
sorry.
They redid this entire tennis court, brought in lights like draping over it so that there were like twinkly lights all over the top, and then set up all the tables. And then you sat at your table, like the tables were set up with an aisle down them. So the ceremony, you sat at your table.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like
turned. So like everyone faced that forward, and then when it was over, everyone like turned their chair.
Right.
Gotcha.
And we're sitting at their table, which I have seen done before, but this was one of the smoothest executions of it that I've ever seen. Like it made so much sense.
That's good.
And everyone could see, and I don't know, it was really beautiful. I can't wait to see their photos.
Wow. What a
and
treat.
Just so cool that this home that they've been working on renovating it together. They bought it together a couple years ago, and they've been working on renovating it pretty much the whole time that Matt and I have been working on renovating our house.
Mm-hmm.
And they're both in the real estate industry, and they've just been pouring their heart into this house, like working so hard on it. So it was so cool that this place that they've built their relationship with and like moved into together
so hard,
and worked so hard for all of us to be there with them.
So sweet.
It was so cool.
Aw, I love that.
Anyway,
that's a good granny moment.
What was your statement or question or that you said a second ago?
I said that if you're with the groom, you should sit on the opposite side.
Okay, yeah. My brain, I was like, she said something, and I was gonna loop back to that, and then I just got so off.
Yeah, you were like, no, they did a good job because I think everyone could see.
Right, I was saying, I think that it was mixed though between the tables.
Oh, that's good.
Because I don't think there was like an even amount of guests that like from each
side.
Because that's the other thing about that. It assumes that you're gonna have 50 guests from the groom side and 50 guests from the bride side. And I think without a doubt, across the board, weddings I've gone to, very rarely is it equal. Normally one has like 150 and the other one has like 40.
Yeah, because some people have like 82 family members. I'm like, where did you guys come from?
Yeah, totally.
It's funny. And a lot of friends too, but.
Speaking of family. Isn't that what today's episode's kind of about?
I was like, speaking of, what are you talking about?
Like, I was trying to transition us there. Not nailing it.
Not nailing it. Yeah, it's about family routines. I didn't know how to like label it, but like coming into the holidays, it's October. We felt, and I think everyone on this earth feels stressed kind of in some way or another during holidays because of the balance you have to do during the holidays with your family, period.
Navigating family dynamics in the family season of the year.
Yeah. And I don't think anyone does it perfectly, but maybe you do. Maybe you're out there, you're like, this isn't not a struggle for me. But
I feel like people who do it perfectly have parents who also do it perfectly. Like I do know a few families and I'm like, wow, they juggle that really well. But it's because they have sound of mind grandparents who had sound of mind kids who had sound of mind. And I can think of like one family that has.
And like not divorced. That's like hard to find.
Yes. Like
that's really hard to find.
You can't have any of that. And you can't have married somebody who has any of that.
No, yeah.
Maybe you can, there's probably somebody listening, they're like, my parents are divorced and my husband's parents are divorced and we're fine. I'm like, okay, well, I'm so happy for you.
So happy.
All right.
Let's get into it. Should we talk about ours first? I was going to talk about ours. Okay, so here's the layout of my family. I have 2 older brothers. I almost said 3. 2 older brothers that are quite a bit older than me. They're 11 and 8 years older. Yes, we have the same mom and dad, and our parents are divorced. They divorced when I was like 5, and my brothers, of course, were older. Anyways, long story short, they both have significant others. One is actually married. One is just a girlfriend. Not just a girlfriend, but is a girlfriend.
I call her your sister-in-law.
Yeah, so do I.
I know that, like, I'm like, Caroline's sister-in-law. They're not married, but her sister-in-law.
Yeah, and they've been dating for a long time, so we're all family, and I have a boyfriend. So, growing up, and I was talking to my grandma about this because I was like, this morning, I was like telling her what the podcast was going to be about. And I was like, it's interesting. And I wonder if you relate to this. It's interesting because as the baby of the family, I feel like, I have, like, out of all of our family members, I'm the best with change. And I am the, like, least nostalgic around holidays. Like, if my family was like, oh, we're not doing Christmas this year, I'd be like, okay, like, so what are we doing? Like, I don't have deep-rooted...
Sorry.
You're good.
Sorry.
I don't have deep-rooted... Are you going to cough again?
Nope.
Okay, I thought you were.
I'm good. I was looking... The reason I was on my phone... Normally, I would not feel the need to justify this, but now we're being videoed. I was pulling up the list...
Oh, yeah, you're good.
I
know that, but yes,
before,
they don't know that.
This is going to be a chaotic podcast. Strap in, buddy.
So, I was talking to my grandma. I was like, okay, it's interesting because I'm the baby of the family. Anyways, I'm not nostalgic around holidays. So, therefore, I think I'm really good at navigating because I genuinely don't care. Like, my brothers, like, my older brother, for my oldest, has a wife, and they are very nostalgic around her family. So, like, they usually do Thanksgiving together. And we're always invited. Sometimes we go, sometimes we don't. Just depends. But that's the thing. Like, I think a good tip, and again, this is really personal. I think my advice is, like, go with flow. Yeah. I think that's really hard advice, though, because it's like, okay, how do I go with the flow and plan it all? But, like, it works for us. And, like, I don't know. We're very last minute, too. But then now adding Chris to the equation, of course, we have to split his family and, like, all this stuff. But this year, we're doing, I think, Thanksgiving with my family.
Does his family celebrate Thanksgiving?
So here's the thing. They do because they have one American uncle, and that's their only family here.
Got it.
So they like to celebrate Thanksgiving because they can, like, celebrate something with them, which makes sense. But then that's when I first met Chris, I was like, guys, I should have Thanksgiving because I'm the American. Like, in my head, I'm like, this is so stupid. Like, I wouldn't go to South Africa and be like, I want this holiday for me, you know? But I was like, okay, accept it. It's fine. But this year, Simone, Chris's mother, who's wonderful. And that's the other thing. I have really good, like, Chris's mom is a rock star and has no expectations. So that's also a plus going for me. And my mom also is a plus. She's like, if you need to do that, do that. Anyways, I'm talking way too long about this. This year, we're doing Thanksgiving with my family, and then I think we're going to split Christmas because that's what we did last year. Like, my family in the morning, his family in the evening, and then we're doing a trip with Chris's family, like the 26th, 27th, 28th, or something like that. Anywho, that was way more detailed, but every year it changes.
My mother-in-law has always talked about doing that instead of Thanksgiving or Christmas. She's like, if you guys just want to ditch us for both of those, and then, like, we do a vacation, like, before New Year's or right after New Year's with everybody, she's like, that'd be fine with me. And that always seems really good in theory, and we've never done it.
Yeah.
But maybe as Gardner gets older and, like, we'll see.
I know, like, adding kids, too. I'm like, I don't even know how people do that.
Well, I was going to note that perspective because I feel like that's the perspective I have now. So my whole life, from what I remember, I'm always really rough on the details. I'm sure that my sisters and parents listen to the podcast sometimes and are like, what is she even talking about?
That's what I think about my brothers don't listen, but I'm like, if they listen to me talk about my family, they would be like, you are psycho.
They're like, you have the weirdest take.
They're like, that did not happen. I'm like, yes, it did. From my perspective, it did.
I know.
It's funny.
We spent Thanksgiving for the most part that I remember with my dad's family. And then we just saw my mom's family a lot more throughout the year randomly. And then Christmas, we were always at our own house. So this stood my entire life. Christmas growing up was in my home. I woke up in my bed on Christmas morning, except for there was one year that whenever I was, I think, in high school, we went to my dad's brother's in Indiana. And it was like the worst, not because of them, but it was the worst Christmas ever. Nothing to do with my family. Like, it wasn't like anything to do with my aunt and uncle or my cousins. It was great to spend time with them. But it was because we had these traditions of how it went for us.
Yeah.
And we were like, what?
You're like, well, how do we even behave?
Yeah. Like, it wasn't. So we've always still gone back and done Christmas Eve at my parents' house. And we've had the privilege of Matt's parents and my parents live in the same town.
Yeah, that's nice.
So we just hop over on Christmas Day. And Matt's family, the hardest part for us navigating holidays is both of our families are huge Thanksgiving people. And neither of our families are big Christmas people. So both sides of the family were like, yeah, no big deal. Like, give up Christmas. We don't, like, whatever. And both families are like, no, we'd love to have you for. And again, our families are pretty laid back. Yeah. They don't push us either direction. But the conclusion that we've come to up until now, we've been doing Thanksgiving every other year. So we do. And my sisters both do their Thanksgivings with their husbands every other year. And they actually flip-flop Christmas and Thanksgiving. So Thanksgiving is spent with my family. And then Thanksgiving the next year is spent with
Matt's.
Yeah. But
and their significant others.
Matt and Danny, who are my brother. My brother-in-law is also named Matt. Their family. And vice versa. But where that gets sticky is my sister's parents are divorced. So they're always trying to fit in their mom and our side of the family. And they have been gracious enough that they do Thanksgiving every other year with us every single time. So where we are now is we have all of those schedules lined up. So the every other year works perfectly. And it also, we have it lined up with Matt's family.
That's
because
nice.
Matt's aunt and uncle and his cousins are also going with our system. So everybody's every other year is lined up. So no one is together on the off year. No one.
Yeah.
And everyone is together. Like, but
I guess that's the thing. It's like your mom and dad are.
And Matt's parents this year, it's going to be their first year that they're on their own for Thanksgiving.
Matt's parents?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
And we were talking about it, and his mom was like, I'm trying to figure out what we're going to do. They talked about going to Phoenix to be with, like, her parents. Both of my father-in-law's parents have passed. And so, like, they don't have family to be with, but they're already in Phoenix. We were just there for a birthday, and then Thanksgiving, and then we're going again in January for a birthday. And so they're like, 3 trips in 4 months. Like, we don't need to. So she's like, we may just do it, the two of us. Yeah. And she's totally fine with that. But anyway, you didn't need that much detail. But so every other year. And a big tradition that we're trying to work in, because we never do Christmas, or that I'm trying to work in. I have not discussed this with my sisters at all yet. I'm hoping they're on board. Is Christmas with my sisters and all the kids and their cousins. I want to do like I did growing up. So we did Thanksgiving at my dad's side of the family, and we would go to bed on Thanksgiving night. At least this is how I remember it.
Yeah.
Again, sisters, if you're listening and it wasn't this way, don't ruin it for me. I like my version.
Memory.
Yeah. And we'd wake up on Friday morning, and they would have transformed the house into Christmas. And Friday we would celebrate Christmas like early all together, so that we'd open presents. I don't know when we drew names, but we drew names at some point. So you exchange gift with one cousin.
Yeah, that's nice.
Which I think makes a lot of sense. No reason to buy gifts for 6 cousins.
No.
And my sisters and I also do that. We, with the couples, there are the 6 of us, and we all draw names and get each other.
Yeah, we're
gifts.
Name drawing too.
And we
have an episode coming that's kind of talking more about this.
Yeah.
So
we have like we do themes and all kinds of stuff. So, but we'll get into that. We can get into all kinds of details on that. But this year, I see why you got so drawn out.
I know. I was trying to rush it too. I was like, they do not care about my life.
No, I know. As you were talking, I was like, I was interested, but I was like, I guess it's going a while. Like, you could be more concise, I guess. And now I'm like, no, I understand.
I know, and I missed out like a lot of details too, but I'm like, it doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't. Long story short, this is the first year that we laid down the law. Mm-hmm. And we decided we're going to do things like my parents did. And we told everybody, you're welcome to come to Christmas at our house, but we're not going anywhere.
For Christmas. Mm-hmm. Nice.
So come to Fayetteville, stay with us. We'll have guest rooms ready. Like, put some presents under our tree. We'll put presents for you if we know you're coming. Mm-hmm. Like, you're welcome to be here with us. We'd love to have you. And we are not going to be upset if it's just the three of us.
Yeah.
And that's how we're going to always do Christmas, because we want G to wake up at her house.
Yeah, I always woke up at my house. Like, always. I've never not woken up.
And all my family's never lived close by.
Yeah, that's true.
So both sides of my family lived in Iowa and Nebraska and Minnesota. And so we never had family that was like, oh, we're going to drive 10 minutes to Aunt Sally's and then, come home after lunch. Yeah. Or we didn't have that option. And so it's complicated. There's so many different people. So are we ready to get into
let's dive into
their responses? Yeah, I
need to pull mine up.
I have some favorites. I had a lot of people say that they feel like their traditional Christmas routine is like dying out because people are getting married and they're like really sad about it changing. And I wanted to make a note while we were recording this for people who you feel like things are changing. Use that to really think about what you love about your traditions and how you can incorporate those things into the new traditions while also alleviating some of the things you don't like about them.
Yeah, that's very true.
Like, think of it as an opportunity.
Yeah, and I was telling my grandma that, and like how I'm not nostalgic, and I'm like, I need to dive deeper because I'm like, I think it's a trauma thing. Like, and I don't know. I
think you are nostalgic.
You do?
Yeah, I do.
I do. I think I am about stuff. Yes.
I think you even are about that kind of stuff. I think you're just not like. I don't think. Okay, you know how
because I do something different every year, so there's nothing to be nostalgic. Like, I have memories of Christmas, of Thanksgiving, like throughout my life, but it has never been the same.
But I don't think it has to be the same to be nostalgic. And I think that, you know how sometimes you tell me, like, I don't actively try to manifest. That's never been my thing.
You?
Or whatever. Yes,
I tell that about you?
Yeah, and this may not connect at all for you, what I'm about to say. But you tell me I do it even when I don't know I'm doing it.
Yes.
I think that's you being nostalgic over the holidays and stuff. Yeah. I think you have things that are important to you.
I think that too. I would agree. And like my birthday, same kind of thing. Like, I'm not a birthday person, but I still like it.
But you're like a
birthday person.
You're not a birthday person in like that you make everybody else's life a hell about your birthday, but you're totally a birthday person. Like, you love your birthday. Because it is
nostalgic.
Yeah.
I think is the root of it.
I think that you
equate. I got it. I don't, I'm not nostalgic around tradition. I think that's the root of it. I don't have tradition.
I still don't.
I don't have that, though.
I think what you're saying, though, because a tradition can be anything. I think you don't have traditional nostalgia. Yes. Like the things you hear people talk about, like that they're really nostalgic about putting up the Christmas tree or whatever it is. Like, yes, I think your things are very different than other people's, but I don't think
but not like so, like, I'm not saying like I'm so different than everyone. I do basic
I do
things.
Think you feel like you're so different, though.
I don't do that much different.
I know, but I think you do.
No, I really don't. I don't think that.
This is such a big sister kind of moment where I'm like...
You're like this.
I know. No. I'm being really annoying. I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine. Why was I saying that?
I've gotten you so off track. I'm not being a good
you
co-host.
were saying something. You were saying,
I think
traditions.
People should take those, the elements and traditions that they love and like incorporate them into their new phase stuff.
Yes. And I was talking to my grandma about that, and she said, yeah, it all roots in kids too. Like if you choose to have kids one day, like you're going to have this innate or not behavior of like, oh, I want to make it special. Yeah. I'm like, that's so true. But now in my life, I'm trying to, because I think that part of my life, if I ever have kids, will be so magical. But I'm also trying to, like your Gandhi moment, stay present in the now of like the freedom we do have and the amazing family members we do have that make us flexible to just like exist. Mm-hmm. There's no expectation of like, I don't even know. Does that make sense? I hope so. Okay. Go for it. We've talked about it too long.
This is going to be like a 3-hour episode. We can't stop. Okay. My absolute favorite one, and I'm not going to read it. I'm just going to, because it's like a one sentence. And anyway, it's like across multiple text boxes because it's on Instagram, was somebody DM'd, and I am taking this to heart. I am banking it in my brain for when my kids are older. And I'm like, we're doing this. And I actually, after having thought about it, do know someone that does this. No matter what the holiday is, Thanksgiving, Christmas, whatever, the Saturday before the holiday is when they celebrate with their family.
Oh, nice.
They don't do it
on Christmas but any holiday.
Christmas and Thanksgiving.
Saturday before.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I don't know what happens if it's on Saturday. My guess is they do it the Saturday before. Like it's just really early that year.
Well, Thanksgiving's never on Saturday, but Christmas, yes.
Right. That's what I was referring to. Yes. Good one.
I'm like, gotcha.
True. But yeah, I think I really like that idea. And then the home is always like, her home's always open to people to come on Thanksgiving or to be there on Christmas. But they do like their big celebration once her kids were adults that Saturday before. That way her kids don't have to get stressed about their side of the family.
Yeah.
And fitting her in, and she's guaranteed that
Very
time.
True.
No matter what. And I was like, that's tricky. I like that. I like that.
I like that a lot.
What are they going to say, you know?
Yeah. Unless they hate you, they'll be like,
well, and that's a different circumstance. That's a whole different problem then.
Like, no, we're not doing that.
Yeah. And I do have a family friend that's what they do. A weekend in December, they go spend with their mom and her husband, and they like go spend a weekend somewhere, and they do their Christmas celebration then. And I really like that, because depending on how many kids you have and how many are married and what the circumstances are of your children-in-law.
Yeah.
Like son-in-laws and daughter-in-laws and what their families operate like and how many siblings do they have. It can get so complicated so fast. And that like not only gives you your time, but it also spreads it out to where they have more capacity for them.
Very true.
Your turn.
I'm going to text Chris to not call me so it doesn't interrupt. Anywho, he asked if I had the moped key, if you guys are interested in knowing that. And I said no. Okay, so this is a similar one. We celebrate Thanksgiving on the Friday so everyone can come. I like that. I'll read another one because that was similar. Both families on Christmas Day. So stressful, but we want to see everyone. I feel like that's more common than not if they live close.
So many people said they want to see everybody. I think they're out of their mind. Why? Why do you want to see that many people in a day?
I can relate because Chris and I's both, sorry, I don't know how to word this. Both of our moms are single, and we're primarily like closer to our mothers, both of us. And I get that because I don't want my mom to be alone. But my mom has my grandma, my mom has like my brother, my one brother sometimes. And anyways, so like I have this guilt of like, oh, my mom's going to be alone. Even though my mom has never made me feel like that ever in my life. She's like, I'm fine. Like literally I'm fine. Because I see my mom a lot. I think it would be different if I didn't. But like last Christmas, we did, because I've been dating Chris like almost 3 years, I guess. We're going on 3. So the first Christmas he did like with his family, like completely alone. I did it with mine. Last Christmas we did both. So I did his mom and his sister in the morning and like till like noon, and then we went over to mine and did our Christmas. But I get that because we don't have cousins, there isn't all of that.
But here's the thing I was going to say about your family is now you guys have done so many family functions together. Don't you think you could just invite everybody to the house at once and do it all together?
That's the thing. Yeah. Now, yes. Like, that's what I was talking to my mom about. I'm like, we should just have Simone, Catherine, Chris's sister, Chris, everyone over. And they would say yes. Like, everyone's cordial. Everyone's, like, actually likes each other, which is also a blessing and very nice.
Because I listened to JC, and JC, if you're listening to this, I hope that I don't, like, butcher this. This is what she does on holidays through my perspective. Yeah. I don't, like, she never complains. Totally, she loves it, as far as I know. Again, JC, sorry, I'm speaking for you. But they live in a small town, and her husband has a bunch of siblings, and they'll be going from grandma's to Aunt Susie's to cousin Gerald's to, like, and they go, like, 5 places, and by the end of the day, like, she's like, man, that was crazy. I don't even know what happened.
Yeah.
And I just personally, I don't do well in that. Like, but some people do. That's why it's so important that you create traditions that work for yourself.
Yeah, exactly. And for your family, because, like, personally, I've never done that because I don't have that. I don't have an aunt or an uncle or cousin. Like, my closest cousin in age is, like, 9 years older than me. Like, I never grew up with, like, cousins, and, like, I never had that. But now I'm thinking for my future kids, and I'm like, better start popping them out. No, I'm joking.
She's been talking about kids so much today. Earlier, she was like, I kind of wish I wouldn't have named my dog Frankie.
Yeah, because I want my real daughter, if I ever have kids, to be a Frankie.
That's bringing up kids twice today.
Well, I think about, the only reason I think about kids is cousins. But the good thing is my brother just had his first kid, and he's 33. Thank God. Thank the Lord, because he could have had his kid.
Right, and your other brother hasn't had any yet.
And he's 30, almost 31. I'm 23. So I'm, like, calculating. I'm like, I think we can do it. I think we can pull this off.
I think that you can wait a full 7 years.
Oh, yeah. That's what I'm saying.
You can be 30, and it will be fine.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I think I can pull this off.
Not fine. It will be fine no matter what. You can wait till you're 45 for all I care, and it'll be fine. Or never have kids, But I understand, like, wanting, because
I never grew up with that. So, like, in my head, I don't know any different. I'm like, oh, I have cousins. Let me clarify. I have, like, a lot of cousins, but they're, like, in their late 30s into 40s. Mm-hmm. So we're not, like, buddies. Like, they have children that are 16.
So,
like, I'm closer in age to their children.
I have cousins my age. We never lived in the same place, so we aren't crazy tight. I have one cousin that I'm really close with, but more because we formed a relationship as adults and, like, call each other and stuff more than anything. But G, we were like, man, the closest cousin's 20 months older than her. And then after that, like, is 3 years, 4 years, and then it's, like, 6, 10, 11 years older. And so we were, like, kind of had that feeling of, will she have anybody? And then out of left field, Matt's aunt and uncle decide to just start having kids. And so they have a baby. They have a girl that is, like, 18 months older than G. They have a son who's 1 month older than G.
Oh, nice.
And then they have a baby that's, I do, like, this week or next, that will be
she's due.
Yeah, that will be 18 months younger than G. And I'm they really said, say less. We got you on all fronts. Like, and it was so much fun getting to watch the 3 of them play in Arizona. Yeah.
So fun. Can't relate.
I totally get that. That's all I'm saying. But anyway, you've been bringing it up a lot. I'm enjoying it. Okay, is it my turn?
Yeah, it's your turn.
I'm chaotic today.
No, you're good.
I think it's coffee.
I'm
half the little bit of coffee I drank. But I can show him my coffee. Look, I've barely had any of this, and it's
messing with her. Yeah,
I keep getting so excited about it being on video.
Me too.
I don't know if it helps anyone, but
like one person listens to this. We're like, hi.
we checked
or
the video. It only has like 9 views.
Yeah. We're like,
Probably.
awesome.
Totally. Oh, just 2 more bitches with a podcast. Anyway.
Your turn.
My turn. Another suggestion somebody made that I love and I realize we do is creating your own holiday.
Tell me more.
To ensure family time. So what my family does.
Like a made-up holiday?
Yeah.
Okay, what is it?
We have Holiday J.
Okay.
So every June, my entire life.
I don't know why I'm acting like this is such a surprise. I know I've known Jen for like, what?
Almost 10 years.
Yeah, and I'm like, what holiday are you talking about? Okay, go on. I was thinking like making up a holiday, and my brain
trying
was
to get everybody in the world to participate.
Or no. I was thinking like, oh, like I would do something that is like spooky and Halloween, but then you give presents, but it's like making up a weird holiday. Yeah. Okay, anyways.
No. We do Holiday J for Johnson, not for Joe. Every time I talk about it, I didn't know this, but somebody not that long ago said to me, because it's in June, which is my birth month, people were like, your family does a whole thing like called a Holiday J for your birthday.
You're like, yeah, I'm not special.
Yeah, I was like, no.
That's really funny.
But my parents, this is a suggestion for families, like if you have a blended family that has divorced parents and half siblings and step siblings, and you're juggling just all of that kind of stuff, because I definitely had that experience growing up. Even though my parents are still married, I had half sisters, and like we just juggled a lot of dynamics. And so my parents started Holiday J, and every June, no matter what, we got together for a week. And as we've gotten older, it's turned into a long weekend instead, just because we don't have the same capacity to take an entire week for one thing. But it guarantees at least once a year, my entire family's under the same roof.
Immediate. And their children.
Yes.
Yeah.
So my sisters, all of their kids, their husbands, and my parents at the same time are all under one roof. And we see each other throughout the year, but we all live in different states. My parents are in Missouri. My sisters are in Nebraska. I'm in Arkansas. And we see each other, but we're not always all there.
Yeah.
When we do it. Like I might go visit my sisters or go visit my parents or vice versa. But it puts less pressure on Thanksgiving and Christmas because we know there's at the very least one time during the year that we're all together.
Yeah. I love that.
And some people probably do that through like a family vacation. They don't call it like Holiday J. They might do like, well, in June we vacation with my husband's family every year.
Yeah.
But I think that that's a good thing to incorporate.
I think so too. I think I don't think we're the best at this, but we do like try to do a family vacation, like all the immediate people. And
I feel like you guys do a pretty good job about all seeing each other pretty regularly.
I agree. For being so spread out too, like, because a lot of people assume, I don't know what people think of me, but I think they assume I don't like talk to my brothers because they're so much older than me. But I'm like, no, we're actually like pretty close for the age gap. But I think their significant others help that. Not that I don't love my brothers, I do, but I think we're good at like.
I really think that your middle brother and his girlfriend and Matt and I could be really, really good friends.
Yeah, they're scary similar.
Good at making plans.
Yeah.
Because every time we hang out, we're like, we need to do that more. And your brother and Matt are always like, we need to go play golf.
And my brother's also named Matt. So
yeah, that's why it's confusing. That's why I didn't say Matt, because I didn't want to confuse people. But
Matty Boy. I call him Matty Boy. I call him Matty Boy.
That's always been really interesting because they're my age.
Mm-hmm.
Is that weird to you?
No. Because once I turn, like, not that I, like, think I'm your age. Like, I'm not like, oh, I know everything. But, like, once I turned, like, 21, my brothers did a really good job at being like, you're a peer.
Okay.
And I don't know if they talked about that and then included me or, like, I don't know what went down. But, like, when I turned 21, they're like, you are no longer a baby sister that's annoying. I'm like, what? I don't even know how to act. I'm like, don't we need to fight? Don't we need to argue? Like, I was, like, shook.
I was just curious because, like, to me, my sisters are so much older than... we're peers and we're friends and everything. But
because yours are
9 and 6 years older than me, so not quite as much older.
Yeah, but similar.
And so that's why in my head, I think that in the moments that you realize Matt and I are the same, that would be like, whoa. That means that when Matt was graduating high school, Joe was also graduating high school, and I was, you know.
That's true. It doesn't freak me out. It freaks me out like on the reverse. Like me hanging out with a 15-year-old. I can't picture it. Like you did.
That also freaks me out in reverse. Because I think about it.
Up higher, you know, it doesn't. But down lower, I'm like,
no, it's weird.
Wait, yes.
I have thought about that. But then I also think about we weren't hanging out like we hang out now.
No, that's true.
Like, because you know what I mean? Like, you worked for me.
Yes.
We were friendly and I liked you, but you worked for me.
Yeah. No, very, very true. But I always think about that side of it. Like, going higher, I'm like, no, in age.
Yeah.
Like, you being my brother's age, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. Because my brother's older and you're older, you know?
Yeah.
Anywho, we're so off topic.
I don't know what's happening today.
Okay. Someone said something about her parents being divorced, and she said that my parents are separated, so I switch off seeing them on Thanksgiving, but Christmas is everyone, so she splits it. I guess 50-50 Christmas. Mm-hmm. I will say that about my family too. We did a very good job. My parents' divorce was very, very cordial. So my dad was always included and came over to our house for Christmas. We did everything together, which made it so easy for my brothers and I, especially me, because I didn't like grow up with my dad. I full time with my mom. Long story short, I feel like that's rare though.
Yeah.
Like everyone, like I have memories with my dad all through forever, you know?
Yeah.
Anywho.
Somebody said, I thought this was a good idea too. It's kind of the same vein of what we've been talking about, but years ago, my family switched our Thanksgiving meal to Wednesday night, so it's easy to be together, and then everyone goes their other side on Thursday, somebody said. And I think that's a good,
yeah.
I don't know. I think that if you have family that would be on board for budging a little, you know?
Yeah. And I also think it's good, like, I think my family does a good job about, like, knowing who likes what. Like, for instance, my sister-in-law loves Thanksgiving with her family. Like, that is her nostalgia. That is, like, her deal. Therefore, we're not like, oh, Nick and Chelsea, come to our Thanksgiving, because we don't put on a huge Thanksgiving show. Like, it's just is what it is, like the normal things. But I think it's, like, we do a good job. Again, we're respectful of, like, no, that's what she wants to do. And we are always invited to come. And, again, we have come, like, multiple times to her side of the family because we all get along. But yeah, I think that's important to know.
Somebody said every Sunday of Labor Day weekend, a family poll goes out, and that's how they collect dates that will work best for everybody so that they can try and get 9 households together.
Wow.
I was like, that's strategic, excuse me. So if you can pull that off, do that.
Yeah.
No way.
No.
My family would not. It would never work.
Yeah, that's a lot. I know someone on here, I see if I can find it, said she goes to, okay, we have 12 to 15 Christmases. So for Thanksgiving, we go to the houses we can't spend as much time at for Christmas. And for Christmas, we have everyone on a time slot. Last year, we made everyone come to us. Our twins are 5, and it is too much to go to 15 places. Yeah, you think. I can't even comprehend that.
What? Who are the 12 to 15?
I don't know. That's what
Just rent a venue at that point.
Yeah.
What's happening? If you're dealing with that, is that normal? That can't be normal.
That's what I'm saying. Like, when I read stuff like that, it sounds fake. Like, I know it's not.
Oh, I don't think that they're making it up.
I don't think they're making it up. But, like, that is so, like, far from my reality that it sounds made up. Like, if you planted me into your life for a Christmas, I'd be like, I don't even know how to function. 12? How am I going to get there?
I would hate that.
I don't even know how you have that much time in a day. I mean, you said you have a time slot, but, like, how long is that?
Christmas Eve and Christmas, surely that's split between the two.
Well, she says, wait, what'd you say? Christmas Eve.
That has to be split between Christmas Eve and Christmas, right? I don't know. Because even if you only spend 30 minutes places, That's still all day with driving from place to place.
Right.
And putting kids in car seats and stuff.
Yeah, and her twins are 5.
And do you just, like, prepare a bunch of dishes and, like, just grab one out of the trunk? And, like, oh, it's cold outside.
There's no way. There's no way I could do that.
I mean, you can't eat at all those places, I guess. But
I know, but, like, showing up with 12 different dishes.
My favorite part of Thanksgiving is eating way too much and then just sitting there catatonic with my whole family while football plays on the TV. I'm not watching the football.
Yeah, no.
I like to play cards. I don't want to be buckling up and going to the next thing. I know that's Christmas, but
that's funny.
Somebody said, I hate the holidays as an adult. So stressful and can never please everyone. And there were a couple answers like that. Somebody said it's wild and crazy and I tend not to enjoy it. And people said, what even is balance during the holidays? Somebody said, oh, this is really sad. Somebody said, I wish I had a family to juggle all the holiday plans with. That's a really sad. Aww. And I think there was some of that people responded and they were like, I don't have this problem because I don't have family to spend it with. And I was like, we
come over to our house.
Yeah, come on in. We
Chris does this tradition where I think it's for Christmas. Like they set a plate out and a chair. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, I think that's like typical maybe, but like they set a place just in case there was someone to come in so they would feel more inviting. I don't know if it's ever happened, but they do that.
I love that. We had a lot of like family friends and stuff growing up that would come to our house for Easter, for whatever it was. Mm-hmm. Like we always were open. Or that's something that I think is really interesting. And a few of my friends have been talking about that their significant other, they're like, no guests, only our immediate family for Christmas, like morning.
I think the more the merrier.
Whatever it is. Because that's how they did it growing up. Yeah. And I think that's so interesting. To me, I'm like, bring them all in. It's a time for family. Like a lot of these, though, are people stressful. Saying it's so stressful. And so the note I wanted to make for anybody that feels like they're in that situation, I think that's when the making boundaries really comes in. Because what a lot of people were saying is, it feels like I can't please everyone. It feels like somebody's always upset with me. And I think that's where setting boundaries for yourself becomes really important, because you can't let other people being disgruntled impact you.
Yeah.
And I that's a lot easier said than done, but I think that's where I started to get happier. I had a long conversation about this on my stories with Weekend Chats this weekend, because people were like, how do you like make people follow your boundaries? And I said, you don't. People respect them or they don't. And you set a boundary with yourself that if they don't respect it, you're not going to waste time with it.
Yeah.
And it's, again, easier said than done, and it takes a long time to adjust to it. But I think that that's really an important lesson, and the holidays is a really good time to practice execution of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's hard to, like, dealing with families that are so deep-rooted in tradition and nostalgia, because it's like, that is hard for them. It's like, what? Like, when you go off kilter, it's like, off kilter. It's like, I don't even know how to behave, you know? It's like, what? My son's not going to be there? My son's always been here. And that's the hard part, too. But it's like, you just have to do what's best for you. Like, if that's staying by yourself, you know, doing your own thing with your little family, with your dog.
And I think the best thing is to always, if you feel comfortable, keep open arms. Like, for us, we're happy to host. You're welcome to be at our house, but we will be at our house.
Yeah.
And that's the boundary. And if anybody's like, well, no, I want them to come to my house and this and that, you were invited. We could be together. I'm not choosing for us not to be together. You're making that choice by not coming here.
Yeah. And if your brother or whoever your siblings are, like,
wants to lay down that same boundary,
that's fine.
That's okay.
Then you won't see each other on Christmas. It's gonna be okay.
Yeah, exactly. And that is okay.
Yeah, very true.
I never see my sisters on Christmas. We had a couple Christmases together growing up, but very rarely.
Last Christmas was the first Christmas since like 2018 we were all together. Like, we have never been all together since high school, my high school, last high school experience.
I don't, like, my sisters and I probably haven't been together since I was like 8.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because they mostly did Christmas with their mom.
Yeah, and
we
then they
had our
kids.
own Christmas thing where they would come and, you know, whatever.
Yeah, but not on
but never on Christmas
25th
Day.
of December, yeah.
A couple times. They were with us a couple times, not never. But anyway.
Anyhow.
Hope this was remotely helpful, or maybe Caroline and I just rambled for an entire hour.
Now you know. Now we're going to quiz you about our families.
Yeah. Do you have it? How many years older than me are my sisters?
And my brothers.
Yeah.
It's weird we're like flip-flopped. I mean, it's not weird, but like you have sisters, I have brothers. Because I feel like that, I want to talk about this actually. I feel like having brothers and being the baby, like having only brother, not even the baby, having only brothers is actually really hard and no one talks about it because like everyone goes with the girl side for the most part. Not always, like there are exceptions, but like growing up and like when my brother started getting girlfriends and all this stuff, I was alone. Like it's just me. And that's fine. Like I have still fond memories and my mom made it special. But like I feel like that's not talked about enough because the sisters always go to the sisters.
I think that's rooted in misogyny.
I think so too.
Not your behavior or like your family's behavior, but I feel like the way that we think, well, we can't take women from their families until they're ready to get married, and then they belong to you and your new family. Do you know what I mean?
No, yeah.
Nobody is thinking about it that critically.
Right.
Well, I'm sure somebody is.
Yeah,
but,
maybe.
I think it is rooted in that.
No, yeah. Anyhow, but I think my brothers are awesome and they do a good job about including me. But I think that's not talked about enough. Because do you hear like or have you seen, maybe you haven't, but on my For You page, sometimes it pops up like when you realize you're on the dad side of the family. What the hell? I'm like, that is me. Because I only have brothers. Of course, I'm on the dad side.
Yeah.
I'm like, ugh. But I feel like I'm a cool dad side person to have. Like a cool aunt.
We're all girls, so.
Yeah.
We spend a lot of time with Matt's family, though.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Anyhow, hope this helped. Good luck out there.
Email us, join our Facebook group, rate us, review us.
Watch our YouTube.
Share with
subscribe.
15 of your closest friends. Love you.
Bye.
Bye.